Set to go in ACC play, Louisville and Virginia Tech from Blacksburg. Kidd against Trainer and off and rolling in the ACC on a Sunday afternoon. So Skyy Clark, who's been a big part of Louisville with some better play as of late, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot today down in this end.
And you can see Huntley-Hatfield, multiple ball screens, they'll have it. Right to open three. They haven't shot the ball well, Louisville, this year, but that's a good start for them.
Trey White is one of the guys that has given them a lot of scoring. 15 points a game, second behind Skyy Clark for the team lead. This is the starting look for Virginia Tech. They don't have MJ Collins in the starting lineup today, but he is expected to play again.
And here's Couture. You're so worried about taking the three out, you overrun him, and he gets a basket right to the rim on the drive on the closeout.
The starting look for Louisville, White and Clark do most of their scoring, and they have the first two baskets in this game.
Great back screen action. They worked through that today in shoot around. Virginia Tech covered that exact play. Credit to Louisville on the back screen.
When you were talking about points in the paint against the Hokies, it's not just big guys, it's drivers and guards too.
It's not going to be just throwing the ball to the block. It's going to be penetration, passing to the paint off of cuts.
There's Robbie Barron, he's swatted. JJ Trainer knocks it out of there. That's another place Virginia Tech can turn to for some post scoring is Robbie Barron. That three is a little heavy for Mike James.
Well, look, I would tell you right here with Louisville, they're big. They're not scoring a lot in transition offense and fast break opportunities. They do try to get a lot of drags off there.
Padula is short. That's something you got your eye on, him hitting shots today.
Yeah, they're going to need Padula to score. He's got to be better than he was against Auburn. They got great drive to the paint, one more.
And James made the correction from that same spot.
Absolutely. And again, Louisville earlier in shoot-around was working on those type of plays, getting the paint, kicking out, one more passes. And they haven't been a high assist team this year. Right now, last couple shots have been off of assists.
Louisville looking for the early season version of Mike James. Really good out of the gate. There's Barron. That's too strong. Rebound for Louisville.
And you can see Virginia Tech's only sending one to the glass. Everyone got back. They're trying to guard and set up their wall defensively because of the amount of drag screens and ball screens that Louisville set in early offense.
This will be a fun matchup today. Couture and Skyy Clark. Two of the better guards in the ACC. Here's Trey White going to work. And he is dangerous from the mid-range, but not here.
No, and then there's a good box out there with Virginia Tech keeping Louisville off the glass. Louisville's a really good offensive rebounding team. That's one of their ways they score, second and third chance opportunities.
Not there for Tyler Nickel from deep.
Virginia Tech's going to need to make some threes. That is a rhythm thing for Virginia Tech offensively. Coach Young's team is all about making threes as well, too. They haven't shot the ball well the last two games.
That's a little long. Offensive rebound, though, kept alive.
That's what Louisville does. That's what Louisville does. They live on that glass.
And that's an offensive foul. Hunter Couture in to take it.
Interesting to see right now, just on the pace of things, Connor, and just on how the pace is going. I would say it's advantage Louisville right now. Interesting that the new rule with the charge. Very hard to get a charge call if you get off in the air, but if your feet's on the floor, you're able to take a charge.
There's Padula on the run. Kidd can't get it upstairs. White slapped it away. So here comes that pace for Louisville with Clark. But James in tight with the left.
Really good drive by James. I've been saying that I think Mike James is such a big key and a key person for Louisville because his jump from last year to this year is a big addition. The better he is, the better Louisville's going to be. You can see the amount of dribble handoff action that Virginia Tech's running, trying to get established Lynn Kidd.
Barron for three. In and out. Ooh, that was tantalizingly close to going down.
Yeah, and Louisville was focused in on Lynn Kidd on the roll there, which opened up Robbie Barron for the open three.
Into the post, there's that matchup with Kidd, and he wins it on Huntley-Hatfield this time.
Drag screen up top there. You can see how much they're trying to help down low there with Kidd.
And inside for a dunk.
Louisville had pulled on over but didn't stay there. He pulled out. Padula held on the ball, an extra dribble, and found Kidd late, which got him the dunk.
Virginia Tech started slow against Auburn. Trying to avoid a slow start here.
Great box out by Virginia Tech. Louisville gets to the offensive glass. You can see Virginia Tech keeping Louisville on the one shot right now for the most part.
Just that one trip, that's been it with the second chance. And a Kidd from away from the basket, and that wouldn't stick.
And you can see Virginia Tech is getting back. They are not giving opportunities for Louisville to get out of anything in transition or to set their early drag screens in transition. They want to set their defense. That's a point of emphasis for Coach Young's team right here for this evening.
The shots up, they're gone.
They're back. They're not going to worry about getting second, third opportunities on the offensive glass.
Late clock. James with the give up. Trainer a three. And an air ball. No shot clock reset. 2 on the clock. 1 on the clock. Louisville didn't see it. Huntley-Hatfield gave it up after the air ball.
Got to give credit to Virginia Tech there defensively, and then the awareness on the shot clock.
Louisville hitting some outside shots to begin. Up 6 in our first break. First break with Josh Pastner, Connor Onion, Kenny Payne. Year 2 as the head coach for Louisville. He's got great history, of course, going back to his playing days here.
He's got tremendous history. He's won a national title as a player. He's been played in the NBA. He's been picked. He's a great guy. Louisville fans, give him some time. He's going to be fine. He's going to build this program back to where you want it. Things don't happen overnight. He knows what he's doing. He's a high-level coach. He's a high-level guy. But things don't happen overnight. Coaching's hard. Give it a little time.
Of course, he has an NBA background, and that really shows up in how they play.
Absolutely. You can see a lot of the actions they run in the half courts, a lot of NBA type of actions, and it's hard to guard.
Very different down on this end for Mike Young. Offensive mastermind, Mike Young.
One of the best in the country.
A slow start from outside for the Hokies. Haven't hit from out deep yet, but a whirling Sean Padula scores.
When you're struggling a little bit from the outside, the best thing to do is get into the paint, get a layup, get your confidence going and your rhythm going. Padula just did that. Good action of the timeout by Coach Young.
That's going to be his only game, Auburn. That's going to be his only game without a field goal all year, don't you think?
100%. That's just a one-time fluke deal.
That hadn't happened to him since the ACC title game a few years ago when he was a reserve player. Well, that leads to a dunk for J.J. Trainer on the broken play.
Sometimes it's just better to be lucky on that. I mean, the ball was bouncing, a 50-50 ball there. Louisville came up with it. But in order for Louisville to take the next step, that's what's going to happen. They need to win those 50-50 balls. Last year they didn't. This year they are. That's why they matched their win total.
Elijah Poteet in out of the timeout. So is M.J. Collins back from injury. And that's out of bounds off of Collins.
Yeah, Collins didn't play last game, but you see the dunk here just off the 50-50 ball. It's a scramble. Louisville comes up with it, but Collins didn't play last game against Auburn. That was something where Collins is one of the guys on Virginia Tech that can really create his own shot. You know, even late shot clock, and that hurt Virginia Tech not having him being back. He doesn't have any restrictions on minutes. That's a big addition getting him back for this game and for conference play.
As far as Mike Young says, anyway, right?
Yeah, as he says, yeah.
No restrictions as far as I know.
Depending on how he plays.
Off the turnover, Padula stripped from behind by Johnson. Lightning quick guard off the bench ahead to Clark, who misses, but Trainer's there to follow it up.
Offensive rebounding, that's what Louisville does really well. Credit to Louisville now on those Johnson on that 50-50 play defensively, the effort he made, and then on the way back, that's what it takes to win is those 50-50 ball plays, the second and third effort.
Johnson had hands on there. He's checking Padula here. It's a matchup to watch in the half court. Couture into Petit. Off the deflection, back to Padula. And way off on the three.
Good contest there by Louisville. You can see Virginia Tech really good transition defense, the way they're building the wall. They're going to make Louisville have to score in the half court.
You said it, the pace will be indicative of how this game goes, and Mike Young, the former ACC Coach of the Year, would like to be in a little bit slower of a pocket than right now.
Yeah, a little bit slower. I think the pace right now advantage Louisville. Let me just tell you this on Mike Young, and I'm not just saying this because I was a coach and a head coach for a long time. I love Mike Young. He's excellent. He's one of the best offensive coaches in the game, and they don't get enough credit defensively. They're tough and hard-nosed defensively. You got to be really good offensively to score against Mike Young's team.
Dug out of there.
There you go.
Hands on it for Skyy Long. And Couture, lethal outside shooter run off the line, but scores plus a foul.
Defense leading to offense. Just where I was saying, Mike Young's defensive group, what he does is they really guard in the chest. And how they guard on that in the chest gets a turnover, which leads to a fast break opportunity. Right there, Couture. You know, everyone puts so much pressure on guarding Couture because of his three-point shooting. He's a leading all-time three-point shooter for Virginia Tech in the history. But when you're really so focused on that and you're able to get by guys, it opens up lanes.
And just attacked that Mike James closeout.
Yeah, and what happens is you start then maybe closing out a little short, and then all of a sudden you're getting an open three. You know, Couture is so good at his gamemanship, the way he plays, how he plays without the basketball, the way he moves without the basketball. It's an art when you're not playing with the basketball, and he understands that art in that.
You called him an incredible mover without the ball. That was the first thing you said about him when scouting this game.
Absolutely, and it's a skill. To play without the basketball is a skill. He does it as well as anybody in the country.
Here's Trainer, who's had a loud start, but way off the window there. Rebound taken away by Kidd.
Rex Steiner with the big crackback on the big there on Louisville when they were trying to get to the glass.
It's Curtis
I thought he
Williams.
shuffled his feet a little bit.
Yeah, checking Couture on this trip down after James had him last time. Into the post, Kidd going to work, can't hit. He almost never misses those, as the Hokies will have it back in the baseline after the timeout. A rare bunny miss for Lynn Kidd, who's shooting at 70% of the year. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Blacksburg. It is really fun flying in here. You make the hour drive from Roanoke through the hills here to Castle Coliseum. Louisville out in front early this ACC opener. They were 1 point away, Coach Bassner, from a major marquee win against Texas.
Well, what I would tell you is that was a great opportunity for Louisville, and they played so darn well. They probably deserved to win the game, but what happened there late, they missed a free throw line box out. Texas hit a shot right at the buzzer. It was actually really good defense by Louisville, but better offense, and that happens. They got to find another way or two in this for an ACC play to get another signature win to find a way to do that.
Off the shot fake, Hunter Couture from three.
That's what he does. That's why he's #1 in Virginia Tech history. And out of a timeout, great call by Mike Young, setting up on a dribble handoff on a misdirection. He find a way to put it in.
Well, that's a seal breaker for Couture. He came in the last 2 games. He was 1 for his last 14 from 3. It goes without saying they need his outside shot. But Williams, no. Couture has the rebound.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Payne wanted that shot from Williams there.
Louisville's played from in front most of this first half, almost to the midway point. Chance to tie or take the lead. Ahead of the 10-minute mark with Kidd on the spin for the slam.
Absolutely love the move, the spin. Louisville got body to him, and he was able to feel and spin baseline. That's what Kidd needs to do to set that presence in the paint. Big time move by Lynn Kidd.
Johnson in handling the ball, and that's an offensive foul on Glenn. And it took a big bite out of Couture and called for the offensive foul.
Well, you can see Couture here, just they really stayed on him. Mike James stayed on him, and he was able to get him lifted. And then look at this move by Kidd. You see the body to body. He didn't give him space, and he was able to feel it and spin on the baseline. 2 big-time plays. I also want to say that's 2 charge calls already in this game. And that's been one of the point of emphasis has been there might not be as many charges this year already to this game taken by Virginia Tech.
And that's going to be so important how this game is called, because how Louisville gets to the free throw line. One of the best in the country at shooting free throws. 8-0 run. Almost became 11. Long goes to the free throw line.
Long got left there. No one got a hit on him. He was open for a free run to the basket. Because of the amount of pressure on those dribble handoffs, that Louisville's coming on those shooters because they know that Virginia Tech's such a good three-point shooting team, so they're getting so much help to the ball that leaves a guy like Skyy Long to get an offensive rebound there untouched.
Coach Bassner, to your point about offensive fouls and how this game is called, these teams get to the free throw line a lot, and a quarter of their offense, more in the case of Louisville, comes from the stripe.
Louisville, one of their ways they've been able to win these games this year has been to the free throw line. I mean, they really attack, play downhill, get into the paint, and they're shooting a really good clip, almost 73% from the free throw line, just a little bit under. But that's what they do, so a lot of it's going to be how the game is called will be dictated on some of Louisville's scoring opportunities.
To this point, 4-0 in fouls called. So not a big foul-heavy first 10 minutes of this AC opener. 1-2 at the line gives Virginia Tech the lead, still out and running. There have been several minutes since Louisville has scored, and there's the first team foul against Virginia Tech.
And you can see Louisville trying to drive downhill, and they talked about it in shoot-around, Virginia Tech did, about the multiple ball screens that Louisville will set. And then Louisville's trying to drive it, and because of the rules, the way the game is called, if you're on his hip, it's going to be a defensive foul. You have to get your chest in front of him to give yourself a chance for it to be an offensive foul. There, Padula was on his side.
The rule is part of it. Why else does Louisville get fouled so much?
Because they put their head down and they drive it. I mean, their abilities to drive, to attack, to get to the paint, that's a tough two. I think Virginia Tech would be happy if they're going to keep shooting those, but Louisville's mentality is drive, attack, live in the paint.
Well, White gets a lot of his scoring from right there.
He's able to beat guys off the bounce and go right to that elbow and pull up. And they're tough twos, but that's his game. That's what he does. He does it well. He did it at USC last year and transferred from USC.
The Hokies needed more of a paint presence, and Kidd on the fall-away can't hit, and a foul down here.
If you notice there, Brandon Huntley-Hatfield gave him a little more space when Lynn Kidd caught it down there, so he wasn't able to spin on the baseline.
Here's that mid-range shot for White.
You can see there, got right there, got separation. It was actually pretty good defense. The kid hit a tough shot. But that's what he does. That's how he plays. That's part of his game, is those tough mid-range twos.
Kidd trying the other block and goes underneath.
You can see the spin. That time, again, he got his chest to him and he was able to feel the contact and spun baseline. The time before where he guarded him, he gave him a little more space where he wasn't able to spin. But that's Lynn Kidd's move.
Clark knocks in the three.
Louisville's going to need Clark to do that. Really good action there. Back screen to re-screen to an open shot. Virginia Tech got caught on that on the re-screen action there. Really good action by Kenny Payne.
That's the guy that has freedom to go get his offensively. The Kidd had 3 bodies down there, and he's called for the foul after the miss.
Well, you can see Virginia Tech sets a lot of cross-screen actions with their perimeter guys. Because of their ability to shoot the ball, again, you're able to have to help on those guards, so it leaves a guy like Lynn Kidd open coming off the cross screen because of the gravity that those guards setting the screen they do. Actually, Hunter Couture told me earlier today, he was like, I told him, you're a great screen setter. He goes, I know, sometimes they're illegal screens too, coach.
Can I get away with them?
I said, hey, as long as they're not being called, what the heck?
Well, he's got good hands too. Couture gives it back though. White, Clark passes on the 3. And White slows it back down. Hokies almost had a breakout. And Clark into bodies. 3. James again from the corner.
Louisville did not come into this game. They were under 50%, actually under 40% on field goals assisted. Tonight they are having high field goals assisted. Coach Kenny Payne worked on that in shoot-around of the one more, the extra pass.
Barron can't cash in. With Louisville sharing the ball, building a 5-point first half lead. And Clark is off. Another thing is Louisville has not shot the ball well from 3 to start the year. Last in the ACC at 28%. But James from the corner has been deadly.
It's about making shots, Connor. That's what it's about.
Desmond
I
Howard.
think enough people are talking about him. I mean, how are they not even ranked? They had another great win today on the road at Pitt. They won at Alabama. They're loaded. They can win the ACC this year. And for them not to get into the tournament last year at 14-6 in league play is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Or is there 8 wonders of the world?
That would be
is there
an
8? So maybe they're, yeah. Goodness gracious.
Right up there with the Great Wall of China.
But the way they're playing this year, they're going to get in.
Padula lost it, and Louisville will get it back. Off the Padula turnover, he's saying my bad.
Louisville came out pressing out of that timeout. I don't know if Virginia Tech was ready for that. Credit to Kenny Payne, trying to have a little different defensive look coming out of the ATO.
Kenny Payne told us that he turned on the first 12 minutes of the Auburn tape against Virginia Tech and showed his team the pressure that Auburn put on Virginia Tech. Wanted to throw some of that stuff out there today. And Trainer with the miss.
Yeah, they talked about how Auburn kind of really smothered Virginia Tech and really was just everywhere they were at, switching. So he talked about really showing that film to them so they could see how Auburn played. You see the back screen there by Couture, great back screen.
Couture with the handle, out to Long for 3. In and out, rebound James. There's White pushing it, and offensive foul on Trey White. Couture back to take it.
That's the right call. Transition defense. Virginia Tech's one of the very best in this league to do it and getting back. Hit his feet set. He beat him to the spot. That's the right call. Third charge by Virginia Tech in this game.
You wondered how much they'd be able to do it.
Yep, because that's been a point of emphasis with the new rules, that it's going to be hard to take charges, for charges to be called, because they don't want the collisions. But Virginia Tech's positioning has been the key for them defensively in getting those charges called.
Couture's been involved in 2 of those collisions, and that's a travel. So wipe off the dunk for Kidd. Got resistance from Trainer.
You can see a misdirection there. They were trying to have him come up for the 3, but then to throw it back in a misdirection to establish Kidd into the paint. And he tried to again for the spin on the baseline. He shuffled his feet a little quick before he was able to make the move.
You wondered both ways. We showed you the points in the paint and how Virginia Tech struggled in that way. How early would Louisville go in there? They've been good from outside to begin, and James couldn't hit the runner. Batula on the baseline pass. And Collins underneath gets his own and gets blocked. Strong defense, Trey White. And Clark turns it over.
Transition defense by Virginia Tech. I wonder if Collins is a little rusty, obviously, from not playing last game.
Yeah, he has the give up for the Kidd slam.
The transition offense from that turnover by Kidd beat Louisville down the floor, got him an open basket. Good throw ahead to Collins, who found Kidd right at the block.
Clark lobs it up. Ooh, that would have been nasty. No connection off the hands of Trainer.
You can see the transition here. You can just see he beat everyone down the floor. You can see Louisville, weak side defender, was too far over, wasn't pulled over into the paint, into the help side there, playing basket in and before getting out.
Couture turns the corner, and James was right there with him the whole time, and Padula called for the foul. And White down hard after he was nudged by Padula.
They're really locking and trailing and staying really connected to Couture. They're not letting him get any free looks. Yeah. But Louisville defensively has been really good on how they're guarding Couture. Now they're making him get to the paint. And what they're saying is, I don't know if you can beat us if you just make 2s. We can't let you make 3s, Couture. You're too good. So we've got to be lock and trail and be literally like a Velcro on you, not give you any room on the catch.
A big foul too. Padula with 2 fouls on the bench, and Huntley-Hatfield capitalizes.
Points in the paint. They got a little bit overextended. Found on the roll there on the slip.
Was this a sit Padula the rest of the half?
I don't,
situation?
Me personally, I wouldn't. I think it's up to each coach on how their theory is and what they believe with 2 fouls.
There's Kidd going to work. Out for Couture off the shot fake again. And Couture left it short, and James flies in for the rebound. Here comes James pushing it. Give up for Clark, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Oh, baseline official thought that was an and 1. Wave it off, no basket. 2 at the line for Clark.
Connor, do you see the quickness by Louisville defensively on the recovery, on the second and third effort? Those are things that wasn't happening last year at Louisville. You can look at right now the improvement they made on the quickness on getting to the shooters on a second and third multiple effort. Credit to Louisville on that. They're really trying to take out the 3 and not give Virginia Tech any clean looks. But back to Padula, I think Coach Young, you know, it's going to be hard for Virginia Tech to win without Padula. I mean, it's a questionable thing. I think Padula's probably smart enough to be careful and not picking up his third. But it really comes down to the coach's gut and theory. What do they believe when you have 2 fouls? Everyone's a little bit different on that.
It's their top ball handler, one of their top scorers at 14.5 points a game for Virginia Tech, Sean Padula. And Clark extends the first half lead for Louisville. Here's some of that pressure that Louisville picked up from the Auburn tape that they wanted to put on Virginia Tech today. Poteet lost the handle, got it back for Young. Coming off his best game of the season. Long going baseline. Out for a Collins 3. Book it.
If they can stay within striking distance and not let Louisville get a lead with Padula on the bench, you can keep him there, and I think maybe that's what Coach Young's looking at. Big 3 by Collins.
A guy that hadn't hit an outside shot before that. He was 0 for 11 coming into the year.
I think that's why Louisville maybe closed out short playing the numbers.
Oh, from the mid-range again, plus a foul for Trey White. That's that work studying DeMar DeRozan. Kenny Payne has him in the tape. Watching DeMar, he'll be at the line. When we come back, Trey White to extend the lead for the Cards. A good balance for Louisville. Mike James 8 points. Trey White, Skyy Clark 7 points. As Louisville has built the first half lead in this ACC opener. Trey White, second time today we've seen him go to this mid-range shot. Got fouled on this one also.
Well, as we discussed, Kenny Payne talked about he wants him to watch film on guys like DeMar DeRozan. You know, a lot of coaches might say in today's game, don't take the mid-range shot. Trey White, that's his bread and butter. He likes getting to the elbow. He likes getting to the long post. He can make those shots 15, 16, 17 feet. He's able to create his own shot there. He's got good size as well, too. And he's got 3 assists, 7 points, 3 for 4 from the field, and 3 assists. That's a great stat line for him.
And that's what Kenny Payne was talking about to us this morning was we know he's going to score. He's at 15 points a game. That's not going anywhere. Can he distribute a little bit better off of his scoring?
Well, how about Louisville overall? 7 assists on 11 made field goals. They have not been good at that this year coming into this game. Under 45%, under 40%. They've been moving that ball today with great rhythm, flow, and energy.
A little pressure on Virginia Tech, playing without Sean Padula right now with a little more than 4 minutes left. He went to the bench with his second foul for the Hokies. Long recovered it, and the rebound for Huntley-Hatfield to take it away for the Cards.
Really good defense there by Clark on Couture, who just blanketed him. They're not giving him any room. They don't care what he does. It's almost like a box and one, but playing man-to-man principles. They're really trying to take him out.
Only allowed Couture to shoot 1 3 in this first half. Did hit it. Couture with 8 points, leading Virginia Tech. Johnson with 7 on the clock. Grinding inside, and an air ball on the runner. And that was saved, but Long was out.
No shot clock reset, so I think it's going to be right at under 3. These are the time and score situations. What have you worked on to get yourself an opportunity here? Because it's got to be a quick shot.
Well, remember, Louisville did not have that awareness earlier in the game. Couldn't get a shot up. We got a timeout before this one. 2:26 in the first, 7-point Cardinals lead. A week from today, afternoon doubleheader on ACC Network. A women's hoops. Florida Gulf Coast is at Duke. And then number 22 Louisville hosting Kentucky. Big game. That's presented by Food Lion Sunday, December 10th on ACC Network.
If they pick Louisville last in this league, I'm telling you, they are really good right now. This league is going to be a grind and a fight, too, for all 15 teams. It's going to be a heck of a year this year, the way these two teams are playing.
Clark on the air ball late in the shot clock.
They had a timeout. Virginia Tech called timeout to set their defense up. They got a shot by Clark, probably not what Coach Payne wanted, but they had to get a shot up under 3.
So
that's twice that's happened to them on shot clock violations, late shot clock underneath, out of bounds.
I want to take you back here. You're going on record saying no shot. Louisville finishes 14th out of 15th like they were picked.
Not happening. Not the way they're playing.
The slip for long for 2 more for Virginia Tech.
Again, the gravity by the Virginia Tech, Coach Mike Young's team, they do such a great job at setting screens. What a lost art is screen setting. And Virginia Tech's one of the best at it. And it gets guys open. The better screen you set, the better chance you have somebody to get open.
White off the shot fake, took some steps. Travel gives it back to the Hokies.
Going back to Virginia Tech, because of the way they set their screens, the gravity because of the shooters, usually the screener is the person that's going to be open. But because the shooter's setting the screen, they're just putting all energy towards that, is giving guys like Lynn Kidd or Poteet opportunities to get right to the block to score.
We're seeing some more production in the paint today for Virginia Tech, and that continues with Collins.
I just think Collins needed a little bit of some rhythm to get going in the game, play a little bit to get his rhythm back. Great move there, going to the left in the and one. You know, he was off last game, didn't play. It takes time a little bit to kind of get into rhythm and sync when you've missed some practices in the game.
Well, we were talking this week, getting ready for this game, Coach Pastner, and I think we both felt MJ Collins, if he can start to hit some more jump shots, he's a guy that can change Virginia Tech's season.
Yeah, I mean, he hit his 3, but they're going to need to make more 3s.
A new school 3 and an old school 3 for Collins. A 3-pointer for MJ Collins, then a 3-point play late in this first half. 6 points in his return from a knee injury.
They're going to need, Virginia Tech's going to need him, and they've stayed in striking distance with Padula out with the 2 fouls. Part of that's been MJ Collins' 3 and then the and one right there.
Late in this first half in the ACC opener. And James off a ball fake. Crafty move around the rim.
Another good action by Coach Kenny Payne out of the timeout. Got James going downhill. That's what they want to do, is they want to get downhill.
And Nickel with the answer back from 3.
The all-time leading scorer in Virginia high school history. Didn't get really any time, an opportunity at North Carolina. Came here as a transfer. It's a really good fit for him here. And the way they play, got him a great look there. They need him to score. He has that ability to score.
It brings it to a 1-point game. 10 on the clock for Trainer. Clark got to go. Down to 7. Clark on the cross. Got underneath and Nickel. After his 3, has the D.
And that gets the crowd going with the defense there. Got the shot block. And you can see it here. But hey, here's another big situation coming up late. Shot clock, out of bounds underneath. This is the 3rd one for Louisville. They've got to find a way to score on one of these.
Down to 2 on the clock. Into the post with James, and he gets fouled.
Connor, those late shot clock base out of bounds plays are very similar to special team situations in football. It can make or break you. So right there, they got an opportunity to get a foul and reset the shot clock to 20. So you look at the numbers, they're 1 for 3 in late shot clock based out of bounds situations.
I love a good Skyy punt.
I'm throwing out the football terms now, especially with the college football playoff just happened.
Hey, that was the final foul to give for Virginia Tech in this final half minute. Clark went high window, no. Kidd the rebounds, and the Hokies can hold for the last shot of the half.
Outstanding defense by Virginia Tech. The way they pulled over, they crowded the floor, made it really tough for Louisville to get a clean look.
Louisville has led for most of this first half. A chance for a lead into the locker room for Virginia Tech. 3 on the clock though. James with the defense. His shot at the buzzer is off target.
Hey, that's halftime. Your score, Louisville 31.
So Louisville overall, first time in 2 seasons they would do that with a win in this ACC opener. Well, Padula back in there to start the second half after foul trouble, and into Kidd for an easy 2 in the lead.
Big basket for Virginia Tech to get the lead because they're trying to fight back to get the lead, and sometimes you just expend all that energy to do that. You just need to get over the hump to get the lead.
Well, Louisville led for 18 of the 20 minutes in the first half, and James can't give it back to him. Well, Louisville off the back-to-back wins, survived in overtime against New Mexico State. Beat Bellarmine in the second half. Come back, and Kidd with a loud start to the second half.
Really good action there. Again, you can see the gravity on Couture, and he just able to get to the paint. Guys help the dish off with the dunk. They're really doing the job now on the points in the paint.
You got an A in physics when you were in school, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I can say I did.
That's out off Kidd.
I did coach at Georgia Tech, which is all about engineering, science, technology, and math, and physics. But I was only the basketball coach there for a few years.
You learned a lot about gravity.
You're right on that. I knew an astronaut when I was at Georgia Tech. I met a couple astronauts. I won't go in the whole NASA space station, though.
I mean, I kind of want to hear about you being in the space station. That's going to be part of the second half combo, I bet. There's White in and out. And Padula with the rebound for Virginia Tech.
That's his game, though, that mid-range game, as we talked about. He can make those shots. Most coaches probably say don't shoot those, but for him, that's his game.
Padula ducking underneath and scores it. Mike Young flexing out to midcourt off that Virginia Tech bench. Hokies crowd engaged on this 6-0 run.
We want to take the shortcut.
Stressing the importance of Lynn Kidd and Sean Padula. They've had all 3 baskets out of halftime.
Absolutely. They really started the second half right where they needed to start. I mean, with like a house on fire, how the intensity they had, and they attacked the paint. They established that paint presence, especially to start of the second half. That's why they've got the lead. That's why Louisville was forced to call a timeout.
The Kidd challenged by those last 2 games, seeing Vlad Golden and Janai Broom. But those have been 2 of the 3 big scores for the Hokies to start the year, along with Hunter Couture. Louisville took the timeout, seeing Virginia Tech score 6 in a row in the first 2 minutes out of the locker room. Here's Clark off a ball fake. Gives it up, extra pass, White. And can't stop the run.
Really good offense for Louisville. Got the one more. Good ball movement. They've been working on that.
There's Padula creating for Kidd. That combo shows up again.
Connor points in the paint. And it doesn't always have to be a traditional throw to the block, back you down. The drive to the paint, bring the help, kick, dunk. Points in the paint. They are establishing their presence inside Virginia Tech, especially with Lynn Kidd.
Where's the answer come from for Louisville now? Into the post, and there it is. Huntley-Hatfield for 2.
Talk about the answer. Right inside. Best way to stop a run, go right down to attack the paint, right to the block.
We're thinking that maybe Louisville would exploit that matchup early in this game. Go to Huntley-Hatfield a lot. Kidd feeling good, but slowed down there.
We'll see if Coach Payne goes right back inside here to Huntley-Hatfield to go back inside. Again, the last 2 games, Auburn and FAU really hurt Virginia Tech points in the paint. That last play there, they went right inside.
Clark with the lefts, and Trainer couldn't keep it alive. Padula without numbers. Now a couple Hokies join the play, and that's blocked, but a foul is called. So Huntley-Hatfield called on the layup for Makai Long.
First team foul of the half against the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's a foul. Let me just say this. Tough shot by Skyy Clark running to his left, which then allowed the tough shot transition offense for Virginia Tech, and not a good balance for Louisville. And then what happens is they're able to get a shot right at the basket. Sometimes people think transition offense is all for turnovers. So much of it's about shot selection too, because it's allows you to have good balance defensively.
Some of that selective transition for Virginia Tech, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they were able to get it off of there. And look, Virginia Tech's not a team that's going to just bring it up and down the floor at high speed all the time, but they're going to take their opportunities when they have a chance to do so.
And Clark's been getting the air ball chance, and he knocks it in right in front of the student section. They'll look at that. They called it 2 for now.
That was set up before the ball was even shot. He did his work early before he even had the ball. The way he moved without the ball, the cutting, the setup, the gamemanship, that allowed him to get the open 3.
Padula and Kidd have a nice connection going right now. Kidd to the free throw line.
Again, because of Padula's three-point ability, the gravity, the energy towards him has given Lynn Kidd the open opportunity.
For now, a 4-point game. They will check on that outside shot, ruled a 2 for Skyy Clark.
You can see Skyy Clark here, the way he set up before the ball was ever caught to him. He did his work early, the way he moved out the ball. Now, they ended up calling it a 2. It's awfully close in there. You need almost like a magnifying glass to see that, but they did call it a 2. But credit to Clark, moving without the ball, which a lot of times is a lost art. We talked about Couture on Virginia Tech, the job that he does with that, pretty good there by Clark.
We need the ACC see it on the magnifying glass. Zoom in on that a little bit.
The NASA telescope on that one is what you need.
There you go. Every war in the second half, I need an astronaut reference. But Roger Ayers, when the officials came over, he said there was not enough evidence to say that was definitely a 3. He did say also, if that was at Georgia Tech last year, we would have called that a 3 if you were on the sideline.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting over here now. He didn't call enough 3s for me. That's the problem. That's why I'm in the media right now. Come on, Roger.
A little too late to pay it back.
I needed more 3s from you.
A little too late. So 5-point game into Huntley-Hatfield again, and he's going to the free throw line.
Out of the timeout, Kenny Payne designed that play and said, we're going right inside to Huntley-Hatfield. And they got a misdirection with him, the way his footwork is, and the setup, the set back up. Credit to Coach Payne there on the ATO to go right back into the paint.
Bacon is out of the question for the students on this free throw trip if they miss 2. And free bacon for everybody. Hey, coming up this week, Wednesday, Rutgers goes to Wake Forest. That's at 6 Eastern. South Carolina at Clemson at 8 Eastern on ACC Network and the ESPN app. And 2 at the line for Huntley-Hatfield.
And you can see Louisville now pressuring up to the made free throw, trying to change the tempo of the game, just to try to change the rhythm now, picking up full court, got a steal.
Johnson saves it, but back in the hands of Padula. So Virginia Tech survived that, and the shot clock is not right.
So there, Louisville was able to pressure in full court. They got the steal, and then the 50-50 ball up in the air for a loose ball there, which Virginia Tech was able to get, but I guess the shot clock.
It didn't reset on the change of possession.
Yeah. So no, they didn't. They said they didn't have. The shot clock coordinator probably thought they had control, is why they, you know.
So 24 on the clock instead of 18.
Yeah.
Here's Couture from 3. He got loose, didn't hit. Offensive rebound for Long. And going back in through the double team. Couture once again. And he's short this time.
Really fortunate for Louisville. He got 2 good looks on that first one, that shot, the dribble handoff. They went underneath. All game long, they've been going over the top. That one, they went underneath and got him an open look.
Long-range hook won't go for Trainer. And a number advantage for the Hokies. Nickel. He's short. 3 straight misses for Virginia Tech.
And 3 really good looks, Connor. Louisville's really lucky they didn't make any of those.
Oh, sweet cross for Johnson. The easy layup.
And a great seal by Huntley-Hatfield there that opened up that paint for that drive there. That was literally like a quarterback sneak right down the gut of the defense. Look at Huntley-Hatfield here, the seal right there on Nickel there that just opened that up.
A different kind of tush push.
Yes, absolutely. He looks like he could be an offensive middle linebacker to play both sports, Huntley-Hatfield. He's got an incredible physique.
He's out riding with Padula, and Petit with the offhand.
Back to points in the paint, off the ball screen. Louisville crowded the ball handler, which left Petit. Weak side was not pulled all the way over, which allowed Petit to be able to get a free run to the rim.
Down to 10 on the clock, and James fighting for position, and he's fouled by Nickel. You know, we asked Coach Payne at Louisville shoot-arounds, could this be a big day for Huntley-Hatfield? Kind of got wide-eyed and said, oh yeah, we're going to throw it into the big guy a lot today.
They need his energy. He's an energy guy. He's an energy. When he plays with energy and he gives that, their team feeds off of it. The first half versus Bellarmine, Coach Payne was saying he didn't have that same energy and he struggled. In the second half, he played with such great energy. They fed off of it. They need him to play with that intensity every possession.
Couture with good defense on Clark. Still working his way in, and he is fouled.
You know, Virginia Tech does such a good job of using their chest. You can see Couture here, look at him using his chest, but he got his right hand right in there, and he bent that left hand a little bit down, but they chest guys really well, but they got their hand, instead of being straight up, walls up, fingers to the lights, bent a little bit, gave the ref an opportunity to call a foul on that.
The first one perfect for Clark. Yeah, you hear that a lot when, I know we're stopping through practices all the time. Reach for the lights, reach for the lights.
You want to get straight up, but if you bend over a little bit, you give the ability for the ref to call the foul and advantage offense. That's what happened down there. Again, Virginia Tech's so good at using their chest, Couture just bent his hands just a tad bit.
Clark gave the students half of what they wanted.
They want that bacon. If you miss 2 free throws in a row from the opponent, a free bacon here in Blacksburg.
The bacon's starting to sizzle, but not all the way cooked yet. Good. Don't eat it raw. We don't advise that.
Not at all.
Collins had a good first half shooting the ball. Getting late in the clock. Into Poteet with 4 on the shot clock. Ducking in, and that is knocked out of there by Huntley-Hatfield.
Now, Connor, here's another special team situation. Under 2 seconds, base out of bounds. You can see here, look at these 2 guys going at. Look at the chest, back to the chest. Got a good block there. But this is a big special teams play. Late clock, base out of bounds.
And they don't go up.
Good defense there by Louisville. They really gravitated towards Couture. They had a slip there by Poteet. He was open there at the last second. They were trying to find Couture there for the 3.
We've seen it both on Kenny Payne's side and on Virginia Tech's side. Late clock, not a lot of shots get in the air. Good defense, bad offense.
It's been good defense. Late clock, trying to just get something off. But you got to credit to the defense on both teams being locked in on that.
The Hokies were on a 6-0 run out of the locker room, and Johnson hits that, and he's fouled, giving Louisville the lead right back.
Look, you can see there that again defensively he used his chest, but Padula brought his hand down and fouled at the last second, got his wrist right there. Good call. The old-fashioned hand was a tough 2. They called it a 3. Is this a 4-point opportunity?
That 4-point play completed for Johnson. Went from down 2 to up 2 in one possession.
And a lot of that's changed with their full court pressure. Coming out of that timeout, it's changed a little bit of the flow and the rhythm for Louisville, and the pace has now taken advantage to Louisville's side.
Well, Louisville led it by 1 at halftime. Virginia Tech on that 6-0 run out of the locker room. Now Louisville on a surge. Barron. The open look won't stick. Here's Johnson, who has lightning quickness. He's got a mismatch, giving it up. White can't drill the 3. You
can see there, they're trying to get in the paint and find those guys in the corner.
A quick step for Collins, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Collins can do that where he can beat you off the bounce. He's one of those guys that can be able to create his own shot for Virginia Tech and get by guys even in late clock situation. That's not a late clock situation, but he's able to do that where his first step's able to beat guys.
Bit of an outlier in that way for Mike Young on this current Virginia Tech team.
Absolutely, because they're such a, again, they're one of the best offensive teams in the country and the things that they run, but it's a lot of sets, it's a lot of reads, reacting, motion. He's one of those guys that can kind of get his own shot without that. But that was in transition there off of a corner miss, which sometimes off of a missed 3 in the corner allows you to have better transition offense and worse transition defense, as that example in that last possession.
Virginia Tech happy to have MJ Collins back, who's up to 8 points. Missed the Auburn game on Wednesday after he was injured. Just a little knee tweak against FAU on a breakaway dunk. Louisville just took the lead on a 4-point play. Gonna take it back on this trip down with Whites. Another mid-range shot, but a rebound off of the miss for Poteet. Here comes Collins attacking the big, but Huntley-Hatfield right there with him. Taryn passed on an outside look. Hasn't been able to hit yet today. And Poteet nails that plus a foul.
Right inside. The shot by Trey White on the other end, it was a mid-range, but it was a spin. Those aren't the ones that Kenny Payne wants to take. You can see right here going right into Poteet inside. Didn't get the wall up, hands down. Big and one, points in the paint for Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech leading scorer Hunter Couture with 8 points in this game. Hokies by 2 points in the middle of this second half. This, of course, is V week, and this week close to the heart of Hunter Couture. His dad, Rodney, about this time last year, was diagnosed with stage 2 pancreatic cancer. There's a picture of those two right there when Hunter was real young. It was about a year ago. Thankfully now, Rodney is in remission. He is cancer-free, and Hunter was nice enough to open up to us at Shoot Around today, saying that, I used to pray before games that I would play well. Now, it's just a thought of I hope everybody's safe, I hope everybody's healthy, and really great to hear that Rodney is healthy and in remission. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research.
Just another great reminder just how precious life is. You only get 86,400 seconds in a day. Short and precious. So, but what ESPN does, Jimmy V and Dick Vitale and everybody, it's amazing trying to beat cancer.
Hunter got to go home, play in Orlando over the Thanksgiving holiday, be close to his family. We had 15 to 20 high school buddies at those games that Virginia Tech played in. And a foul off ball as Louisville works into the half court here.
Connor, it looks like out of every timeout from Louisville, they are trying to go to Huntley-Hatfield inside. That's obviously been a strategy for Coach Payne in this game, and got himself a whistle there.
We've seen Poteet in there for Virginia Tech checking him. What's the matchup here? And Nickel with the intercept with James behind him.
They were trying to post James, but Nickel did a good job fronting on that end of the floor. He didn't play behind, he got in front. I don't know if they wanted Huntley-Hatfield to make that pass. I thought maybe they wanted to get him up and then him to pin down for James. But credit to Nickel fronting the post, not giving up position and just playing behind, which forced the turnover. Base out of bounds, 21 on the clock. This is a big possession right here where the game's at.
Seems like forever after all the late shot clock baseline outs we've had. Into Barron in the post. He has James behind him, and the fall away will not sit down for Barron. He's had a couple of those from outside today too that look like they're going down. Clark on the step, and Barron with the recovery. And Johnson gets it back and puts it down for Louisville.
Ball rolls in and out, and then the 50-50 ball, loose ball on this end. Johnson comes up with it. That's literally a 4-point swing right there with Barron's miss. And then the defensive pressure right there.
Quick hands for Johnson. Collins on his hip, and 4 in a row for Tyler Johnson.
The full court pressure picking up man-to-man after that timeout when Virginia Tech started on a 6-0 run to start the second half has changed the pace and advantage for Louisville since then.
Nickel. Rebound Clark. Tapped out by Couture. And Virginia Tech with fresh life.
James has got to get that 50-50 ball. He didn't fight for that. Couture beat him to it. James had a step. Those are huge plays when you're trying to scrap, fight, grind your way to a win. You got to win those 50-50 balls.
Barron had the smaller Clark on him.
Think about that swing right there, Connor. By James not getting that 50-50 ball, by Couture beating him, that's literally like a 4-0 swing right there. That's a big play. I promise you, Coach Payne will be showing that on film tomorrow.
James, tough look, followed his zone, no. That's why they're 50-50s, right? Louisville 1-1, 4-0 swing. Virginia Tech 1-1, 4-0 swing.
And when in the game of basketball, those are the difference between winning and losing.
Poteet!
A lot of help off the pick and roll on Collins. Poteet had a straight line rim run there. They got hugged up on the outside, gave him a great look from Collins, but not a lot of help inside there. That play, 2 plays before, James missing that 50-50 ball, has given energy and life into Virginia Tech.
Collins called on the Johnson drive. You can see him cocking it back on the approach. Elijah Poteet.
Yep, and you can see there Huntley-Hatfield got stretched out a little bit there. They didn't get help from the weak side there from James. He was late. Poteet got there and just dunked it right, another 2 points in the paint.
Is that a better matchup than going with Kidd? Seen a lot of Poteet this last stretch.
Yeah, I think that's been strategically from Coach Young, trying to have his physicality to wear out Huntley-Hatfield.
No foul trouble for Kidd. He's sitting on 2 fouls. This is Poteet and Huntley-Hatfield. Huntley-Hatfield with the follow away. Nice touch.
Really big shot there, Connor. And Poteet, look, I think they're going with Poteet based on his physicality. He's a little more physical than Kidd, trying to match up inside there.
The Kidd's having a big offensive day with 15 points to lead the Hokies. And Johnson with the active hands. Padula working on Clark.
Padula should have shot that, I thought.
Collins late clock. And a tough look. Johnson the D, but the follow-up goes down from Poteet.
When balls are in the air on rebounding, it's like a loose ball. Even on a rebound, it's a loose ball in the air, and who wants it more? Collins with his second jump, quickness off that second jump to put it back.
10 on the day for MJ Collins. And Johnson can't answer. Rebound for Long. And just ahead of the under 8 in this ACC opener. Somebody's getting to 1-0. Padula around and out of the hands of White, and another 50-51 by the Hokies. Padula gave it up, White intercepts, and now he's off to the races. 2-on-1, beautiful step through.
Really good crack back down inside there by Trey White on when Padula tried it. He thought he had a pass for a dunk. Trey White dove down there on the crackback, got the steal. Big play there for Louisville. Big play.
That puts him in double digits. You have 4 guys for Louisville with exactly 10 points. Balanced up today for the Cardinals. Collins, another outside shot.
Came in the game 0 for 11. Connor hit 2 threes. He's played big for him. I think the amount of screening that Virginia Tech's doing and wearing you on your body is taking a little bit toll on Louisville. I mean, they're cracking you on those screens, and it's can wear you out because it's over and over and over. Big shot by Collins.
James takes Padula, and he's short on it. Long away for the Hokies. Padula, and it spins off.
They got really fortunate there, Louisville, to get Padula that type of look and for him to miss. This is a big possession right here, Connor. Louisville's down 4.
A reach in for Poteet. Castle Coliseum, the rims here have been worn out by MJ Collins over the offseason, working on his outside shot. 0 for 11 at the start of the day. Shut out no more. MJ Collins with 2 3-balls in the bag today. No question, Trey White, Skyy Clark are going to get buckets in the ACC. It's who's going to be that consistent 3rd and 4th guy. Tonight it's been Johnson and James evening them up with 10.
We talked about a 3rd scorer, but they've got 4 right now. And, you know, the biggest thing for Louisville is they just can't turn it over. I mean, you're looking at, they've got 12 turnovers right now at the spot, so they got to take care of the ball. These free throws coming up here for Huntley-Hatfield are huge because with 6 minutes and some change to go, you got to, and you're on the road, you've got to keep it within a possession or 2. This is a big one-on-one right here, Connor. He's got a really nice stroke for a big man from the free throw line.
Does, and by the way, he can be the 5th guy for Louisville to get to double digits.
Really balanced scoring. Last year, that's where they struggled at that. They didn't have enough scoring. This year, they're getting more scoring from more guys.
And 5 guys with 10 points. James, Huntley-Hatfield, Clark, Johnson, and White. By the way, Trey White not on the floor out of this timeout.
I think Coach Payne wants to give him a little extended rest, but I expect for him to be back in quickly.
Collins working on 13 points, and he'll get a 1-and-1. So bonus the rest of the way.
For both teams. Whereas in the first half, we never got to the bonus. Second half, we're there with 6 minutes to go. But that's what both teams do, is they do draw fouls. They do force the opponent to fouls, and this is kind of where the numbers show up here in the second half.
Collins hits the first to earn a second. We showed the graphic earlier in the game. About a quarter of the offense, quarter of the scoring for both Virginia Tech and Louisville come from the free throw line. Tops in the ACC.
Both of them try to attack. And for Collins, you know, he started the game slow. I think it took a little bit to get back in rhythm from being out. But he's been a key for Virginia Tech and has kept them right there when they were struggling a little bit against Louisville, and he's helped them obviously have to extend the lead. It's been a big player for him today. Collins'
best scoring game of the season with 15 points. Williams short. James keeps it alive into the hands of Huntley-Hatfield. One of those effort plays you highlighted earlier.
It's all about the 50-50 balls, and that's what offensive rebounding is. And Louisville's, that's one of the things that they do. The way they score is through offensive rebounding and getting second opportunities.
How about that split and pass for Clark to get Traynor to the free throw line?
Clark's ability to kind of create and off the bounce, he's crafty. I've been impressed with the way he moves without the ball. I've been impressed by his demeanor. He's a high-level guard. He's able to play with the ball or without the ball at the same time. Connor, this is a big free throw right here for the Bacon.
Stakes are high. Bacon is on the line.
He misses this. Everybody in the arena gets free bacon. Not a free hamburger, free bacon.
Brunch is delayed. 7-point game. James jumps it, and Nickel gets it back for the Hokies.
That would have been big if they were able to come up with that, Louisville. He had it.
We're coming down to the final 5 minutes in the ACC opener. Been a fight, and Kidd with 17 on the board.
He got matched up on Trainer there. They found him, and he went right to his jump hook to the middle with his left hand. He got long arms, Kidd, and he just extends that. Beautiful play, beautiful looking shot.
After his extended rest, he's back on the floor with 17 points over his average. And this will be another 1-and-1 coming up with Skyy Clark at the line.
They're getting Trey White back in too. This could come down, Connor, where it's going to be who's making and missing on the free throws with both teams in the bonus, and both teams are going to be attacking the paint. These are little things, special team situations.
And good on the first. Clark, a 77% free throw shooter on a team that's shooting 72%. You look at where they rank in the ACC, Louisville's 8th in free throw shooting. And anytime as a team you're shooting over 70%, you're pretty happy.
It's a credit to the ACC on the amount of teams that can make free throws. It shows you the depth of the league. And you can see them making the free throw now allows them to set up their full court man-to-man press, which has given Virginia Tech some problems, and has allowed the pace and the style advantage for Louisville to kind of keep Virginia Tech off of rhythm a little bit.
The Hokies at 10 turnovers on the game. You know, Mike Young teams are known for 10 or less. It's typically the line for them as far as turnovers. Late clock. Collins having a big day. 5 to get it up. And he hit another.
Throw the stats out. When you start ACC play, throw the stats out. Comes in 0 for 11. On fire from 3 today.
White back in after the big rest. Trainer answers back for Louisville.
It's like a heavyweight fight. Both teams answering with punches. Big threes by both guys. First by Collins and by Trainer in the corner.
Pretty great to have conference play back. Huh?
There's nothing like it. You throw all stats out.
We'll have free throws when we come back in a 3-point game at the.
Yeah, they've really gone inside, and we talked about that at the very start of the game about him establishing a presence inside. Kidd's done that, and then Collins, man, 0 for 11 coming into this game, has had 3 threes. He's been absolutely terrific, has made big shots in timely situations. We're in the first half when Louisville was pulling away with Padula out, he made big shots, and in the second half, to get them back and to take the lead, he's been really good. He's been their MVP to this point for this game offensively.
Collins hadn't only struggled from 3, he struggled shooting in general. He was at 18%, struggling to hit 2s and 3s. And the top scorer for Virginia Tech and in this game overall, MJ Collins.
That's what makes league play so fascinating, awesome, outstanding, is because you throw everything out. It sets a new season. It's like a second season, and he gets a fresh start. Big 2 free throws there by Couture, who rarely misses free throws, by the way.
A 5-point lead for Virginia Tech. Louisville led most of the first half. Led at halftime by 1.
Out of the timeout, they're going right back inside. That's been intentionally done by Kenny Payne strategically to keep attacking inside out of every single timeout.
And it has worked almost every time with Huntley-Hatfield.
Kidd has struggled guarding Hatfield inside. That's why they had Poteet a lot in this half defensively, but Kidd offensively, they need him in there for offense.
Nickel. And a rebound for Huntley-Hatfield.
Let's see if they go back right to Huntley-Hatfield inside here.
Inside 3 minutes. White for the tie. And Trainer keeps it alive, but Collins in there on the ball again. Gives up Couture, and Clark called for the block.
2 things. As you can see there, before where Virginia Tech was able to get the ball, and that's a clear block. But the loose ball was picked up by Collins. He just beat Louisville to the ball, which allowed them to get the transition offense. And again, a corner three there as well too, which again, as we talked about on a corner three miss, sometimes you have a better opportunity for transition offense, not as good transition offense.
Jay Collins is over there talking to new assistant coach J.D. Byers, who's in charge of Virginia Tech defense. Probably a word for how they want to go after these Louisville guards late in the game.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see what they do here with how they're going to guard on this next possession here, because will Louisville go right inside to Huntley-Hatfield?
Kidd is in there to guard him. Collins is checking White. One of the top scorers for Louisville. Here's that matchup. James has double digits. So does Clark. Clark on the take. The runner goes down.
Just beat him off the bounce, Connor. He got right to the paint there. Was able to get his shoulder by him. Big play. As you get into this stretch of the game right here, every possession gets so magnified on both sides of the ball.
The games really count now. Start of ACC play, and Collins with the miss. So Louisville down 3, back on the charge with 2 minutes to go. And contact between Kidd and Huntley-Hatfield, and that'll go against Kidd underneath.
This is 2-shot foul, and again, he tried to get his position. Kidd, that's why they had Poteet in there more for defense against Huntley-Hatfield. Kidd gives up some of that physicality against him. He got him deep in the paint. He was trying to work around to the front, held him. Ron Groover called the foul. This is not a 1-and-1, it's 2 shots.
And the first of the double bonus goes down. A 2-point game. And next Sunday afternoon doubleheader, Florida Gulf Coast at Duke. At noon Eastern time, Kentucky at number 22 Louisville. Women's basketball Sunday, December 10th on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Inside 2 to go. 1-point game after Huntley-Hatfield hits a pair.
When they make their free throws, it allows them to set up their full court pressure, which has given Virginia Tech some issues just on the rhythm and the pace, not always about turnovers. How about Huntley-Hatfield's free throw shooting? Really nice stroke.
He's 6 of 6 in this game.
It's a great luxury to have.
He's got the on-ball defense forced to give up. Padula, tough look, and he's called on, or he's headed to the free throw line. Clark called for the foul.
55, Skyy Clark, that's his third.
Try to get a 3, or they're going to go right inside to Huntley-Hatfield. Will maybe Virginia Tech double will be the question. If they throw it inside, will they double them? Something they haven't done yet. That's why they called the timeout to set up their defense.
What would your answer be to your own question?
Well, look, a 2, you still have the lead. But I think the way Kidd is struggling against Huntley-Hatfield inside, I think you've got to maybe run off someone there and try to get the ball to his hands. Because even fouling him, the way he's shooting the free throw doesn't do any good. You want to keep the ball out of his hands. If he does get it, if you can try to double him and get the ball kicked out. But you got to be alert now. Louisville, they run good action, and sometimes on these late games, they can run different things, or even on the backside where they call it hammer action. So you got to be on the lookout for that. But out of every timeout, they've gone inside to Huntley-Hatfield.
He's upsetting the screen. Johnson was looking for him. Louisville has options here with Clark. All guys on the floor have 10+ points for the Cardinals, but he's in trouble. And Collins knocks it away. Baseline out to the Cardinals. So that balance we've been talking about in the second half for Louisville, all 5 of these guys have scored at a high level today. So it could be any one of them.
Absolutely. And here's Connor, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Late clock, 10 on the clock. Louisville calls timeout. They're going to set up what they want to run on the offensive end. They know Virginia Tech's coming in man-to-man. They're not going to play any zone. Mike Young doesn't play zone. So you don't have to come out, well, if they go zone, if they go man, you know they're coming man-to-man. So now you've got to set up your play of what you want to run and where do you want to go to. Because this is a huge play to get a bucket. Whether it's a bucket or just getting to the free throw line, And I think Coach Payne is going to want to find a way to go inside to Huntley-Hatfield.
So you have all 5 of these guys on the floor as the leading scorers today. Do you think Huntley-Hatfield's the guy with 14?
Yes, and the way he shoots free throws. So if they do foul, he's got such a pretty stroke from the free throw line that it's almost automatic. And Kidd has struggled guarding Huntley-Hatfield inside in the paint in this second half. We'll see what they do right here.
Huntley-Hatfield has outplayed his season average at the free throw line. 61% shooter coming in, but 100% today with 6 free throws.
Throw the stats out in league play.
6 of 6 in ACC play. Should have framed it that way.
Here comes the pin down action right here.
White on the handoff, 4 on the clock. Johnson, ball in his hands, 2 to go. Johnson, way off. And Louisville does not get a good look.
I can assure you that's not what Coach Payne drew up. Probably a lack of execution by one of the guys. Just didn't follow instruction whatever coach had, because that is not what they wanted to do coming out of the timeout. If you look down there, they tried to get Hatfield to the corner, kick it, and then he was coming to pin in for Clark, and it looked like they went to the other direction, not going back to Clark.
Looking at the clock here at the table to see how much time is left.
But you can see Huntley-Hatfield has the ball, and they were looking to pin down to Skyy Clark right there, and I think Trey White went to the wrong direction based on this view, which forced him to have a late clock on that. And then credit to Virginia Tech, good defense. And hey, how about that box out by Lynn Kidd there on Huntley-Hatfield? Really pushed him way outside there underneath the rim to not allow Huntley-Hatfield to get to a slice position, to a wedge position, to try to keep an offensive ball alive.
So Roger Ayers still over at the scorer's table. The officials looking at how much time will be left. 1:03 on the clock right now. Virginia Tech will have the ball. After the shot clock violation, up by 3 points in this ACC opener. They will add 1 second. Instead of 1:03, it'll be 1:04 on the clock.
Now this dead ball, Connor, allows Louisville to set up their full court pressure again, to try to, again, keep Virginia Tech out of rhythm of their motion and try to keep them off balance a little bit when they get to the half court, to take time off of the clock.
Virginia Tech has not beaten Louisville 3 times in a row since 1985. Louisville, an underdog coming in, trying to steal the opener in the ACC on the road. You buy into the Ken Palm probability, 15% chance Louisville would win this game.
Now, I mean, his stats are amazing, but that's why you play the game. You got to get on the floor and play.
Big possession here. Dips inside 10 seconds. Kidd on Huntley-Hatfield. 5 on the clock. Going to work. Huntley-Hatfield holds strong, and a foul is called late.
They had really good defense, and I think he just dropped his hand at the last second. That just ended up forced the official to call the foul.
To the line for the Hokies, 15, Lynn Kidd.
Got him on his
Got him
wrist.
on the wrist. Yep. Kidd to make it 2 possessions. And it's down. And Tuesday night, 10 Eastern, after a men's basketball doubleheader, nothing but net. We got Coach Boeheim right there in the middle there.
Smile, Coach Boeheim. You're retired. You got over 1,000 wins. Where's the smile?
Enjoyed his debut yesterday.
Yeah, he's awesome. One of the greatest ever to do it.
All right, 5-point game after Kidd hits 2 free throws. Johnson working quick, and it rolls off. Rebound for Padula. Now Louisville's got to think about a foul here. You got the shot clock turned off. And the foul finally given with 22.2 left.
Louisville went quick. They tried to get a quick 2. It was the right decision to do that. Ball rolled off. Just a tough play with the way the ball rolled. Credit to Virginia Tech, Connor, in this late part of this game. They've made their free throws, which has allowed them to have the lead.
18 of 21 as a team in this game. 85% for the Hokies. And a miss for Padula on the front end of the double bonus.
Coach Young doesn't like us right now because we probably jinxed him for us talking about it. But now a lot of
welcome to the gig.
Exactly. A lot of the made free throws that have come in the second half more than the first half, just the way the game has been called. Still a lot of time for Louisville, Connor. They don't need a three. They just go keep getting a quick two and try to extend the game.
And that miss keeps this a two-possession game.
Yeah.
Clark will let it roll, reserve a little bit of time. Inside 20 seconds. Louisville trying to come back to grab the ACC opener. And hands for Couture. And the Hokies closing in on 1-0 in the ACC.
Virginia Tech guarded the screen into the re-screen, the dribble handoff screen, re-screen. They call kind of pistol action late game. Really guarded it well, had good hand activity.
To the line for the Hokies, number 2, Skyy Clark, shooting 2.
He makes one of these two, makes it a three-possession game, which makes it really tough for Louisville. They need to get a three if they're going to have any chance.
MJ Collins perfect today, and he still is.
A lot of credit to both of these teams. Connor, both teams are going to win a bunch of games in league play. I think Louisville has gotten so much better, which is a credit to Coach Payne and his staff. Obviously, Coach Young and his staff. These are two good basketball teams that's going to win a bunch of games in a really good league, in a tough ACC league. Going to be some great games every night.
Oh, got a foul. Clark saying he's shooting. This is on the ground. This will be 2 shots at the line for Clark, not 3.
I think he was trying to get the NBA continuation. But he called it Lynn Kidd fouled him beforehand. But that's the last thing you want to do is stop the clock and give Louisville a chance to score with the clock stopped, because now it allows them to set up their pressure full court, which allows them to have a chance to create a turnover. So it was the last thing that Coach Young wanted Lynn Kidd to do in that, or anyone on their team to do.
And Virginia Tech has 2 timeouts if they do run into trouble on a make. And Clark does hit both with 9.6 left. And here comes the pressure for the Cardinals. And into Padula. Running away, running out the clock. And 2 seconds come off.
Yeah, I don't know if they made the free throw. They could have called timeout to maybe set up, but because of the free throw made, I think Coach Payne was thinking, hey, we already set up. Let's not give Coach Young an opportunity to set up a press break.
So he keeps it in his pocket if needed, and Padula back at the line making free throws.
You look back at this game, and Coach Payne will look at this. There was a big 50-50 ball, as we mentioned earlier, where Virginia Tech beat Louisville for it. That was a big swing. And that late clock on that base out of bounds, it was not the shot that Coach Payne wanted.
Another miss from Padula, but getting really late. Clark for 3. That's short, and that'll do it. Virginia Tech wins the ACC opener over Louisville.
Really good first win for Virginia Tech to start the league. Louisville plays